Welcome everybody to this week's quick fix, which is going to focus on feet and ankles. I'm going to spend about 10 minutes just giving you some really good movements and stretches that you can do to help bring some better range of motion into the ankles and the feet. We get really tight in our feet. We carry a lot of stress, especially in the bottoms of the feet. If you're somebody who day in and day out has to wear a specific type of footwear, such as cowboy boots or steel-toed boots, you're probably going to be somebody who can really benefit from these movements. And it can be uncomfortable to have limited range of motion in the ankles when we do other things in our yoga practice, such as kneeling, pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, etc. If you don't have the range of motion, you'll literally not be able to follow along with those movements. And so a little quick video like this that you can incorporate once in a while just to really focus and isolate on this section of your body will help you to build range of motion, and it can positively influence how your yoga practice goes. But then also outside of the yoga mat is what I'm most concerned about for you guys. And so if you just feel a little bit better circulation and movement, it's going to help you with walking, running, balance, all kinds of things. So definitely one to do now and save and come back to later. Okay, so you could do this beginning sequence or this little beginning section here in a chair if you wanted to. Sit comfortably, prop something underneath your bum if you want to. You can even sit against a wall if you'd like to do that. So for those of you who are going to join me just sitting with our legs extended, let's just take our hands back behind us here. I like to go fingertips towards the back and just really walk shoulders together. Remember, we're still thinking of the principles that we want to apply to our yoga practice. So try to roll your shoulders back and down. Don't collapse into the chest or compress your spine. Just try to stay lifted here for a second. And then we're just going to point the toes away from us. Kind of power of your mind. And you know what, I really do find it's beneficial when you have like a little stare down with the feet when we're doing this. So in pointing our toes and just really feeling and looking at where this sensation is for you. You might even see a change of color in your feet as you do this. So we call it pointing the toes, and I want you to just remember or see and notice how this opens the ankle joint. So this is one of the most limited movements or stretches for a lot of people if you've had ankle injuries or if you just have very tight feet. So just take a couple deep breaths. We're going to stay with our legs extended, and we're going to walk the heels forward, flexing our feet, having a stare down here with the toes. See if you're able to really bend and point the toes back towards yourself. And I want to share with you, it's something that's like a strange thing to be proud of, but I am very proud of it. I suffered like my whole life from hammer toes. And something that people are usually amazed to hear is that I have completely healed or got rid of all of my hammer toes. I had 4 just by the practice of yoga. You can get some little assists. They're called Joya toes or yogi toes. They're a good option for people who suffer from bunions or hammer toes or things like that you can wear just once in a while around your home. You can message me if you're wanting information on that. Okay, one more each direction, so point your toes. I know it's a hilarious thing to be proud of, but I really am proud. I have nice feet now. Point your toes, stretch your ankles. Hopefully this feels a little less sort of tense than it did a moment ago. See if you're able to engage the quads when you do this. So just a little strength work. Squeeze the quads as if you're trying to brace through the thighs or pull the kneecaps towards your hips. And then again, let's flex. Really lengthen the back line of your legs here. So you may be able to flex and even lift the heels a little bit. Mine are just half an inch off of the mat here. Lengthening to open up the backside of your legs, and maybe even trying to scooch your legs down farther away from yourself if you feel like you've created a little bit more space. Let's take one more breath. Good job. Shake it out. Circulation is important. I think vibration is a great thing to help us with our feet and with circulation. And some people find too, if you did the legs up the wall session, some people find too that they're literally just kind of swollen in the ankles and the feet. And if you can keep that fluid circulating and draining, that will really help as well. Just circle, see if you can go the opposite way. Okay, let's keep the left leg extended. We're going to cross the right foot over top of our thigh. So this is like a figure 4. We could do this laying down too. We'll take the right hand onto the knee and just grab a hold over the top of the left foot here. We're just going to do a little assisted stretch. So pulling the toe back towards yourself. Take a couple of deep breaths. If you want a little more of a stretch here, you could fold forward slightly. One more breath. Great. Come all the way up. Switch sides. So right leg will stay extended, left across the knee. Grab a hold of the top of the foot and the knee here, just pulling as if you're trying to create a nice straight flat line from the knee to the toenails. You can fold forward slightly if you want to. Adds a little stretch for our glutes while we're here. Good job. Come all the way back up. Okay guys, we're going to come on to our hands and our knees. There's a lot of really great things that can be done for the feet from this position. If you're somebody who struggles with staying on the knees for a long time, then certainly grab a pillow or a blanket and put it underneath your shins or underneath your knees so that you can tolerate sort of being here for a little bit longer. So we're going to start by just pitter-pattering the feet. I incorporate this a lot because, again, it's just really good for blood flow. And for those of you who do have some swelling or lack of sensation in the feet, it might bring some awareness. Body awareness, brain-body connection. Okay, curl the toes under. So the first thing we're going to work at here is stretching across the bottoms of the feet, or the transverse arch, which kind of runs, think about right underneath the ball of your foot. Walk your hands in towards your knees, and as we do so, our end destination is to try to sit on our heels. If you're not able to get there, just stay wherever you can, sort of along this path. If you can come all the way onto the heels, then just take your hands to your thighs. You can take your gaze straight forward or close your eyes. Maybe practice a little of that posture, stacking tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head. And just breathing, whether this is tight or not, just breathe into the bottoms of the feet. See if you can feel that opening. It's a great stretch for your toes as well. Let's take one more deep breath. Good job. Come all the way forward. Shake it out. Or you can lift. Really no right or wrong here. You will get to love, some of you are already there, but you will get to love things like this in yoga where we just feel this rush of circulation, and it really is so nice. Okay, knees are coming close together, feet are together, tops of the feet are to the floor. Again here, see where you can work within this range of motion. Okay, if this is your limit, you certainly could stay forward or sort of rock forward and back. If you can sit to the heels, then we will do that here. Again, just hands to the thighs for a second. gazing straight forward and seeing if you can feel that opening in the ankles. If you're able to take this farther, then two options. One, we could take fingertips back and you could lift the knees. And a little bit more advanced option is to take the hands beside the knees, spread your fingers nice and wide, push into the floor, and lift the knees up. Holding here. Scooping out your belly, staying really engaged through the core. Take one more breath. Good. Lower all the way down or lift your bum forward. Let's stay with the wrist directly underneath of the shoulders. Send your left foot back. Just draw some circles with the ankle. A few circles one way, a few circles the other. And then we'll switch sides. Right leg back. A few circles each direction. Good. Okay, guys, curling the toes under as we did before. We're going to start to walk hands back towards the knees. When you get about here, we're going to lift the knees and come into a toe stand. So I want you to be as high on the ball of your foot as you can, or feet. You may even be able to take a second here and kind of spread the toes or readjust your toes, just being really mindful. Holding here, so this is strengthening for the ankles. If you feel you can handle it, you can bring hands up to a full toe stand. Take a couple of deep breaths here. So your quads should be working. Try to lift your bum away from your heels about a quarter inch. One more breath. Good job. Coming out of this. Nice and easy. All right, let's bring ourselves up to standing. Taking your time as you come up here. And we're going to take left foot in front of the right. Okay, see if you're able to stand with your feet nice and flat. Just gazing forward, drawing the sit bones together, widening across the hips, reaching up overhead. Good, we're going to fold. So if you're able to do this with straight legs, that's great. It's a nice hip stretch or a glute stretch, but it also helps you work at keeping the feet flat and stretching the sides of the knees. So sometimes there's a connection or a tight muscle from the knees down to the ankles that could be pulling or causing some misalignment. Good, just slowly bring yourself up. We'll switch sides, almost done here. Good, reach overhead. Folding down. Again, try your best to keep your feet flat, so just readjust constantly, lifting and spreading your toes. That's been my key to really make a difference. When we get to the rolling series, or the rolling session I'm going to do, it's called roll and release. It'll be a really good one to also show you some things that you can do that will help your feet and your ankles. Good job. Just shake your feet out here. And come onto the ball of your foot, sort of lift, roll. Do the same thing on your toe as an example. Other side, lift, roll. Again, movement. Oh, crack, crack, crack. Pretty common, pretty normal. Good job. Okay, guys, come all the way back down onto our seat. Take your feet forward. We're going to finish off with a forward fold. Okay, so there would be an option to take a strap around the bottoms of the feet. And what we're trying to do is keep the feet nice and flat nice and straight, so big toes pointed up to the ceiling, and not allowing your feet to sort of roll where the bottoms come together, or less common would be to roll where the toes, big toes are leading the way and the outsides of your feet are coming more back towards you. If you're able to reach the sides, that's where we're going. So just taking your fingers around the outside of your feet. Or like I say, a strap. You can kind of move and readjust. Sometimes I switch the grip down. Also, if you can get here, you can squeeze and sort of self-massage. Let's take one more breath. Good job. Come all the way back up to seated. Great job, everybody. So that's just a quick little series, just some different things that you can do to help stretch and, like I say, just promote better range of motion in the ankles, the toes, the arch of the foot. So I suggest that you practice that or incorporate it a little more often. My classes, my flow classes always include our feet. I always like to give them some love too. So if you'd like to join me, hands are going to come to heart center. We'll close our practice taking thumbs to forehead, kind thoughts, to mouth, kind words, and chest, kind hearts. Namaste.